Today we're brewing an oat cream IPA. Let's go. Oh, we should do water to salt. Don't forget to add your water salts.
Do we want to add oats last?
Yeah.
On top?
Yep. Well, oats on top helps with not getting it stuck and sticking in the bottom. Rice hulls help not get this thing into a solid mess. They don't call it an oat cream IPA for no reason.
Gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the rice hulls to make sure it doesn't get stuck. And by stuck, we mean into a hot mess where water doesn't go through it. Adding enzymes to make sure that we break down everything we need because we have a small brew vessel and we're doing the best with what we can. So this is amylase enzyme. So this helps convert starches into sugars. Disco Buster helps make sure that it doesn't become a big mess. So this breaks down the beta glucans, basically. Great, and then we stir them in. Aiming for around 60 or 65. Oh, so timer now? Yeah, for an hour. Probably start venting this fermenter. Oh, we have to clean. And then we gotta clean it, yeah. That'll be quick.
Boof!
That was messy.
Nailed it.
Start cleaning this motherfucker. We gotta still drain this pressure.
Yep.
Yeah, so my plan is once this gets done draining CO2, then we'll hook up the hose directly to CIP ball.
So it won't be hot water.
No, it'll spray cool water for a bit.
And then we'll reheat this after we mash it out.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably the best way. Pushing this system to the limit.
Again.
Like every day. Up center. There we go. So this will be interesting because we've never brewed with this much oats before. So oats like to gum up and be terrible, and then you get a stuck mash. Basically, the water doesn't flow through your mash, which is why we added those enzymes. So we'll see if that gets us out of trouble or not. Although I mean, it's flowing though. Yeah. So we have this overflow pipe here. That's like basically stopping this thing from
Completely overflowing,
but it still could. So that's what is called a stuck mash. If you have water not able to flow through it, then you get a stuck mash.
Story time with Colin. Once upon a time, we made some beer. We just need the farm so we can have a big warehouse, big ass fermenters, all of the things. And then you could just have this huge system, and then you could like roll it out where you want it, and then you could like put it away, and then you could have like the party zone in the brewery, like just roll it out into the pasture and just be like brewing in the middle of the pasture on a beautiful summer day.
This is a pretty good story time.
So that's the plan one day. Got to get there first. And just like a whole wall of fermenters, and then you can like, that's the main limitation we have now is like fermenters, because once that's up, then you're kind of, that's it. You can't really keep going.
This is the test. So do we have a stuck mash or not? It appears we do not because it is flowing. That's good news. But it is also very heavy.
So what would the weight of that be?
I would say the weight is, let's say we added like 40 kilos almost of grain.
Yeah.
Plus it's full of water.
40 kilos. How many liters is in here?
Probably like
40 to...
Oh, I guess we
60?
can see, right? Because
It's at below 60.
60, so it's like, yeah, it's like 40 liters. So it's
80.
80 to 90 kilos. Yeah. It's heavy. So right now we're sparging and rinsing our delicious sugars from our grain and watching it because it's beautiful. Now we drip, drip, drip.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, great minds think alike. I don't know why I'm finding this so amusing today.
It's like,
It's just so oaty. It looks so beautiful.
and we laid it down on a double bed of oats.
Exactly, it is a bed of oats. It's comfortable, you can lay your head there.
It's warming.
What? Alright, I think now I can put it manual. Let's boost.
Boost.
We are cleaning our heating water.
Yes.
Sprite reverse it. We are heating or cleaning water. I'm okay. I'm doing great. Wow, it's so pretty.
Now I can put on the spigot.
Yeah.
Some.
Nice.
Where's this?
This is our new life hack. So this will allow us to basically pull fluid directly from the vessel. This is something we discovered on the live stream, which you can watch the 7-hour ridiculously long live stream, but there's good content in there.
Instead of plucking out with this little straw
like
to
fools.
take out like this much liquid, you can just do a bloop.
And Stanley the elephant agrees.
Here, I'm Stanley the elephant.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, we made Stanley. Someone said it looked like an elephant.
Yeah.
So that drew it on the live stream as well.
Lots of dumb shit on the live stream. It drained well. We didn't have a stuck mash.
Woo!
And it mashed great. So our arbitrary amount of rice hulls work. All right, so we've let it drip a lot. We're going to now transfer it to this bucket. We'll still collect the drippings because it's beautiful sugar that we don't want to go wasted. And then we'll add our dextrose, so that way we're boosting our alcohol content, because again, we're a bit limited by this small brew setup. So we're trying to get as much volume as possible, still trying to get 120 liters, a full barrel. But that means we use dextrose, but also dextrose is nice because it helps us finish out a bit drier, because we're gonna have some sweetness from the lactose, which is what makes it the cream IPA.
Cream.
Cream.
Oh, it's so much lighter.
Wow. Come on over.
Come on over. Come on over, baby.
All right. Dropping on down.
Yep. Just watch the back hook on my side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the false hook.
Yeah, the false hook. It'll slide more.
Woo! There it goes. Luckily, these buckets are durable.
Yeah.
Some.
All right. Then we
Cover. Let that drip help you.
Yeah. So now we're heating to a boil. And we're gonna take this and put it in the compost. So what we'll do is we'll add the sugar and then start getting it close to boiling, and then we'll also start taking our gravity measurements, testing to see how much sugar we have. So we're aiming for a greater than 8% beer.
Man paddle.
Man, paddle. Adding sugar.
Come on.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, and then
It's sweet.
Lemonator.
Coming this fall.
Wow.
NBC.
It's dense. Jesus. You can make a sandcastle out of this. Does it hold? Almost. Okay. Oh, it's so hot.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I got this. Does it fit? Oh.
Yeah.
Now we're in business. Let's see. Steak. Beautiful. All right, I'm happy.
Woo. There we go. Extra sugar water, and that we are at 135. Look at that. Boom. On the money. Huzzah. But what this does is this condenses the steam out. So that way we don't have a steamy mess in here. So we're gonna boil. I guess we've hit the temperature. So we're gonna boil for 30 minutes. So we're only boiling for 30 minutes today because we don't have any 60-minute hop additions. There's no reason to boil for longer. So that's a nice time saver if you don't need hop additions. Going to make sure that our boil pH is where we want it. And if not, we will turn it down because this aids in haze stability as well as just makes better food safety practice. Our pH is 5.3 and we're going to drop it down now because we would like our pre-boil pH to be around 4.6 or so. So we're gonna start with 2 milliliters. Probably.
Going in here.
Yep.
So just plop it right in.
Yeah, I would just pour it right in. Pull the whole thing out, yeah.
Schloop. 650 is the number.
Yeah, 650.
We need a bigger hole.
Need more hole. There's the scissors. 500. Yep. Minus steam. Go in there.
Yeah, it's really clumpy shit.
Yeah. Taking another gravity sample. Make sure our pH is okay. All right, now we're cooling down.
Shorthand, longhand.
200 of each. That's what we should just do. Just gonna use the rest of our bags.
Get a whiff.
Ah, it's still good.
Get a whiff of that.
Is that the same one you use in the other one?
Yes. Yeah, so
Always a mix, or is it sometimes just one?
so far we've just been doing this these three. So yes, so it's, yeah, so we're doing a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio so far, both in dry hopping and whirlpooling, but that's in the future, experimenting and playing with it. So the recipe calls for 200 grams of each, but we have some a little. Might as well use these whole bag. So this will be an extra juicy, and then maybe if it comes out really good, then this will be the recipe. Because that's how we make recipes. Why did you do that? Because that's how many bags we had.
So Mosaic, is that the name of the place or the company that sells them, or is that the name?
Yeah, it's like a brand. It's like weed, you know, like a strain.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they're all the same cutting. So it's like all the same plant, just like avocados and stuff like that. Yeah. So then that it's honestly a lot like marijuana. So they do new breeds all the time. So they'll like, you know, take a Citra and a Mosaic and then pollinate them together and then grow different phenotypes and try them all out and select the one that they like, because when you have two parents, they have mixed traits between the two. So then they'll do that. Should we start?
I would say it's equalizing. It's hovering around 77, which is decent.
So now we're adding the hops to our whirlpool. In our hazies, we don't add any hops before that. So this is the first hop addition.
Woo! Have you ever messed up a beer so bad that it's terrible?
I have not.
We've never had to throw a beer.
Yeah. No, I've never really.
Like we had
Right. We've had some.
No, but they were still drinkable.
Yeah.
We've never made a non-drinkable beer.
Yeah.
So is the worst beer the one you made in the vat? Would you say that's the worst beer?
Actually, that was almost.
That was probably, but given the circumstances of where we brewed the beer.
The van beer was the worst beer we brewed, I think, ever.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we used a water bottle
Which
for the water, which hindsight's a really terrible idea.
which has God knows how much bacteria.
Yeah. Exactly.
100 different water sources, saliva, not boiled at all. I think we had boiled it, but it was at the end of boil.
Yeah, because we were putting it to add volume because our hops didn't even sit in the water. Right now, I'm hooking up a gas post to this line, so then I can push CO2 through the pump, through the heat exchanger, and get the extra 2 or 3 liters of beer. I actually don't know the amount. I should measure that sometime. Next step is going to push the rest out with the CO2. All right, now we're pushing it out. All right, we are done. Brew day is complete. All we gotta do now is pitch the yeast. Take our beautiful yeast, and inside this I also have the yeast nutrient and some Go Firm, as well as I added more yeast because this is a big beer. It's 8%. If you do it right, you don't take the whatchamacallit thing with you, the stir. Ha! All right, now we close it up. And we are 18 degrees perfectly. We did a good job. Now we clean. Now we've started fermentation, and the first thing I do within 24 hours is start dumping the yeast. After 2 to 3 days of fermentation, then I did my first dry hop. This is intended to be the biotransformation hop, where I also added equal parts of Citra, Mosaic, and Sabra. I tend to do this on day 2 or 3, depending on when I'm seeing the most active fermentation. And I look at the most active fermentation using my tilt hydrometer. After approximately 90% of the fermentation is done, which is typically between days 5 and 7, then I do a second dry hop. This is also equal parts Sabro, Citra, and Mosaic. Here we actually add a bit of ascorbic acid to scavenge some of the oxygen to make our packaging hopefully a little bit more stable. We typically do our second dry hop at 10 degrees C to avoid some hop creep. Here you can see I'm actually rousing the hops with CO2, as I like to do this at least twice a day, if possible. After we have our 3-day contact time with our second dry hop, then we immediately cold crash to our final carbonation temperature and pressure. One tip that we've learned over the years is we actually cold condition our IPAs. This kind of mellows them out and lets those flavors meld. We also see that this is a great way to kind of combat some of the hop burn for these very hoppy beers. I'd love to show you the final product, but in Norway, that might be seen as advertising, as this is actually a type of beer that we have in the market. So you'll just, you know, have to imagine it. Or, you know, brew it yourself and find out. All right, thank you so much. If you made it this far, I appreciate you sticking along the whole way. I hope you've learned something. And if you have any questions, of course, let us know in the comments below. If you're curious of what we do after we cold crash, we have both this video and this video that show both the canning and the kegging process. Otherwise, catch you around. Peace.